Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Welcome back. The show that you are now tuned into is called Made in the 1980s. And man, episode 7, man. Episode 7. Usually right here, they say your podcast is most likely going to pass or fail. So it's either going to be an episode 8 or it's going to be episode 8,000 or it ain't going to be nothing but just this episode here. That's what the stats say. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you are now listening to myself. Myself is Camp from the Port, your host for May in the 1980s. And of course, as always, I got my guy here, and we're ready to talk one more time. And we're gonna heat the conversation and the content up a tad on this one. I can't wait to share just dialogue with this brother right here. Please introduce them. Introduce yourself for them.
It's your boy Wang Dang Doodle. I had to switch the name up today. Not
Yeah.
Mr. If I'm not wrong, I'm right. Today I'm Mr. Deviant Septum. Allergies are bad right now.
Hey, I get it, man. It's a rough game out there if you got allergies. It was just 80 some odd degrees for about 2 or 3 days in Nashville. We're right back down to 59. It's the high today. So allergies, among other things, are running amok here in the South. But that will not stop the content from being delivered to y'all. We appreciate you for tuning in so far. Hopefully y'all been enjoying the show. I haven't heard any negative feedback, but I ain't heard too much positive either lately. I think we I think we tapped out of all the resources, people that know us that just listen. Now it's now it's time to go find some strangers that want to listen to the show. Oh man. Oh no, please go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no. It's just like you said, it's time to tap into some new we need new supporters.
Absolutely.
We want to talk to new faces.
Absolutely.
We want to talk to the people that inquire about the 80s.
Yeah.
We want to talk to people that don't know how dope the 90s was to be a youth.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? To be a youth, I will admit, super dope to be in the 1990s. At that time, if you were, let's just say, what, 8, 9, or above throughout the 90s, perhaps today's episode will hit you just a little bit different. Because with all the good times, there were so many things to be aware of that started in the 80s, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the DARE program, DARE to keep kids off drugs. And at one time pot was the demon, you know what I'm saying? The devil's lettuce and things of
Wacky
that
tobacco.
nature. You know what I'm saying? Wacky tobacco, you know what I'm saying? The funny cigs, all of those things. And but tell you what, Wang, one of the just advertisements and promotion, I guess you can call it, marketing, if you will, that's ingrained in my head forever is when I used to turn on BET, which was channel 20 on Continental Cable in Freeport, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that want to know how far we go back when we say made in the 1980s. I don't know what channel BET is now. It was channel 20 when I was a shorty in the 80s and 90s, and MTV was 25. And VH1 was 29. Ask me how I remember all of that. But one of the things that will never be taken out of my mind was the no glove, no love campaigns, man. I say it, we're gonna get right to it. So I thought about this while I was in the shower. No, not trying to treat myself or see if I had an STD. No, just thinking about the show and the content that we can bring to all of y'all today. You know what I'm saying? And what I thought about was, man, remember when AIDS was like scary? Like scary. When I say that, like when you said AIDS in the 90s, it was almost like you said Candyman. Oh, ain't that Hitler? Or I think that's the Klan. That's how big the AIDS was as far as like striking fear into people's hearts when we were young people. When I say no glove, no love, and when I say remember when AIDS was scary, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Magic Johnson.
Okay.
That was, let me see, the 90s.
Yeah.
The
91.
90s, 91. Yeah, 91. I had no clue as to what AIDS was. Didn't know it existed, knew absolutely nothing about it. Magic Johnson does his press conference where he says that I can't remember if he said he had AIDS or HIV.
He said he had contracted the HIV virus.
Okay, the HIV virus. That was the first time I had ever heard about AIDS or HIV when Magic Johnson did his press conference.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that was the very first time that I heard about it. Well, okay. Yes, no, because it's 91. So I heard about it, but I was more worried about the reactions that came from just the people around me. You know, I have cousins, I have uncles who are basketball fans. I remember watching, Bulls versus Lakers in the finals. You dig what I'm saying? And man, Magic is my first memory. Also, I'm 10 years old at that time, I think. Because it's after my birthday. So I think it's June when he announces it, I think. Or July. I'm sorry if I'm getting the dates wrong here. But I say that to say, man, I thought Magic Johnson was going to die. Like, when you talk about a guy who's like prominent, like figure at that time, and I know Jordan is Jordan, but Jordan ain't quite Jordan yet. This is his first title.
Right.
He just got one title. Magic Johnson, like the man. You know what I'm saying? Like for all things considered, he probably dropped that bombshell when he was the greatest player ever at the time, where he was for sure one of the best, if not top two best players in the NBA, even though Jordan is coming. And when he announced he had HIV, it was almost like it was just the immediate death sentence. It was like nobody expected him to live for like a week. And then of course it's like, hey, yo, I was like, man, like people were kind of like giving his eulogy, kind of already mourning him once he announced that he had it. And then, we're in the 90s, and I ain't gonna use all the words that I heard at the time, but they also started questioning Magic's sexuality.
Yeah.
And because unfortunately, we're just gonna tap back into the 80s and 90s. HIV AIDS was just deemed a homosexual disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get it if you like women. You can't get it if you only having heterosex. That was the propaganda. That was I ain't gonna say propaganda. I shouldn't say that. That was the word on the streets. Like, from your uncle that know everything, your auntie, your cousin that just started having sex. Everybody that just had more sexual knowledge and activity than you were telling you as a child that you got HIV AIDS or you gonna get HIV. One, you're gonna get AIDS. That's what they say. Like, if you got HIV, you're gonna get AIDS. And you're probably dealing with them boys. And that was like, wow. Like, so you think about that for Magic Johnson, you potentially unravel like this really big scandal or story about him, his lifestyle, and how reckless he was living. But I mean, he is also, I guess, on the more positive note, the one guy who helped educate us on HIV/AIDS because it's not a death sentence. Even though they were saying that in the 90s, like early 90s and late 80s, we didn't believe it because well, I didn't know until I watched the 30 for 30, but the dude, the race car driver, I think his name is Tim Richmond, he died of AIDS. I think right before Magic was diagnosed, I believe. Either around that pocket of time. So man, when I think about Magic Johnson, I was like, man, I just remember how like people were like just distraught. They was looking like he was like Gail Sayers. It was like Len Bias. It was one of those. It's like, yo, we about to lose a black man tragically out here because he got the HIV.
Okay, well, before we get too far away, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I said me. Let me see. 91. I'm born in 83. 91. So I'm 8.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think where do you think the world got this false information that you had to be homosexual male? Was this put out by the media or was this just talks in the hood?
Man, it's interesting, right? Because I can't go to an article or a person like we know who started the war on drugs. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
Nancy Reagan. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like we know who did that. But the reason why it's kind of difficult to really put it on who started the if you have the HIV or if you got AIDS, you're homosexual and you're gonna die. Because it's rumored that the first case was in Europe between two gay males. Like I remember reading that. Not that I read it like in an Encyclopedia Britannica or anything like that, but I did read that. Like they said, the first case of HIV was found in two homosexual males. And then so you have that stigma, right? Then you have the heroin epidemic and gay porn, you know. And I forget the dude's name. There was a really famous porn star, not Dirk Diggler, but a very famous porn star that I believe he died of AIDS, and he was an avid drug addict as well, and he was homosexual. So I think even that when that guy died, because I think he was doing straight porn at first, but then like I think he's like the dude to break the barrier to start doing dudes too or something like that. This is very obscure information, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm aware. Please Google, please fact check me. You know what I'm saying? But I do remember, like, homie, it's the one porn star that had the taco meat. He's like one of the first dudes to have all of that. Like, it's a wild dude. I want to say they made a not a movie, but maybe I think like a mini series or a docu series or something about him. Dang, I wish I knew homie name off the top of my head right now. Pause. But yes, so I'm thinking that. So the first case, that you got the rumors around that gentleman and drug use, and then I think it kind of just spreads like wildfire then because I think the other flip side is the people that were coming out as having the disease were also males. There, for some reason, through the 80s or 90s and or 90s, it was almost thought that women just didn't have it and you couldn't contract it from one of them. Like it was because I know a rumor, innuendo, or just falsified information from a family member that I will name anonymous. But they basically tried to tell me that HIV/AIDS was spread through butt sex. And that ain't how they said it to me. That's the cleaned up version that I'm providing for y'all tonight.
Thank you for cleaning it
up. But I'm like, yo, that's the only way. Yeah, you can't get it unless you beeping the M. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I did the Googles for you guys.
All right.
It says in 1985, Wade Nichols.
There you go.
Then it said in 1988 was John Holmes.
Mm.
89 was Mark Stevens, and 92 was Al Parker.
Wow.
Do what you will with that information.
Right. So needless to say, and it could be because it's privacy that's always involved. But even as you read off the list, they ain't named not one woman
No,
that's even like rumored to have it. So I mean, sometimes we just shouldn't read between the lines. Sometimes we should really investigate. But for that, we definitely, as a society, did not do well at all.
no, no. Our parents most definitely dropped the ball.
For sure, for sure. So you brought up Magic Johnson, and I love that as like the first memory. I now want to push to the middle 90s, mid 90s, and all the propaganda between 95 to 98. I'm going to share some things with y'all. This is just how I feel, okay? This is just what I experienced. I'm going to share some true stories. If y'all laugh at me, so be it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is here. But Magic Johnson, obviously, we're like fearful for his life, right? 1995, Eazy-E just flat out dies within
Yeah,
days of
days.
AIDS. And it's like, whoa, we didn't get the press conference on this one. What you mean? What you mean Eazy-E is dying of AIDS right now in the hospital? And I remember Kurt Loder had the updates like it was like daily, but it almost seemed like it was almost like hourly or every so hours because I felt like every time it was brand new information about either who Eazy-E had spoke to or how his progress was while he was in the hospital dying of AIDS. Now, that was scary because from my perspective, it happened out of nowhere. So now for me, I know Magic Johnson is going to die now. Like I know it because they were saying that, well, and even though obviously as a kid, I don't know they're getting this information, but they were basically saying, well, they got to treat Eazy-E late. So unfortunately, there was no way to get in front of this. But then if you watch Straight Outta Compton, I don't know. Because people say some of that is historically inaccurate and they were there. I was not. So I'll leave that alone. But that was scary because those are rappers. But the first thing though that I remember hearing about that was one the NWA party, that famous footage that everybody has, right? That party, because there was like, man, he must have got it there. And then, of course, it's these rumors about Dr. Dre being homosexual. Even Eazy-E spoke to it in Real Motherfucking G's. So it's like, oh man, are the OGs right? They were friends. Like, what's going on? Did Jerry Heller really have anal sex and give them HIV/AIDS? Like, it's so many things that as a kid, I'm like, yo, I don't know what's happening. It's just conspiracy theory. By the time I'm 14, I'm just trying to connect the dots to all this information that I have. So Eazy-E for me was just a scary. Like he wasn't my favorite rapper or anything like that. So I'm not gonna go like I was super going hard for Eazy-E in this music or anything like that. I love Bone Thugs and Harmony, obviously. For the Love of Money was and is still my favorite Bone record, and he happens to be on it. But it was more or less like, whoa, now somebody's died from from AIDS, and this is because HIV wasn't treated correctly. And then you think, oh wow, Magic Johnson has HIV, so damn, if he doesn't take his medicine, does he die of AIDS? Or is it like, what if he misses it? What if he can't refill his prescription? It's just so many things running through my mind as you say that, and I fast forward and think about that case. That's part one of what I remember from the mid-90s. I'm going to save it because I wanted to chime in here about the Eazy-E from your perspective, because you're like, what, 12, 13 now at this point, right?
Yeah, yeah. The Easy, I kind of can't give a lot of information on that one because that was also around the time where I wasn't in a position to be a hip hop head. So my information, like you said, a lot of my information came from Kurt Loder because all we had at that time was MTV.
Right.
And so I can't give too much. I can't give too much feedback outside of the feeling of, oh shit, Eazy-E from NWA, abruptly dies of AIDS. Me personally, your mind went way further in depth with it by more further in depth than I did, combining the two with Magic Johnson saying it in 91, Eazy-E passed in front of what, 98? Was it 98?
Wait, so, I'm sorry, what was 98? I'm sorry?
When Eazy-E passed.
Oh, no, 95. 95, I'm
95,
sorry.
95, yeah. So for some odd reason, my brain did not connect the two. Or maybe I was too young to care.
Okay. That's fair, though.
Yeah, maybe I was too young to care.
Yeah, you know what? It's different. I'll tell you what, and I'm glad you said that, because what I think people don't realize is how old you are when you're starting to get information, because you're definitely like in pursuit of like women, right? And I say that because, like, 1995, I'm 14. So now we're asking girls to dances. We play, like, you might be getting a hand job at the movie theaters at this time. This might be your first BJ, your first, you know what I'm saying? You done playing hide and go get it. You at the park after dark, shout the subway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we hear sexually transmitted disease, well, we already had health class. It's like, oh, wait, whoa, hold on. Like, what's going on here? But if you're like 11, 12, so you're about to get to health class. So it ain't clicking. It's like you're still at I like this girl. We're going to hold hands and just sit at the park.
Yeah. Yes.
You ain't thinking, yeah, I'm about to blow her brains out with this meat. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking,
if you're not,
unless you're one of those fast, mannish ass kids, if you know all of that. But
I mean, if you got a kiss on the cheek, you was winning.
Man, believe it. You know what I'm
saying? That's what you took to the homies to brag about.
Right. Yeah.
I finally got that kiss on the cheek.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Man, where'd she do with that?
What cheek was it?
You know
was the left or the right?
Right. Hey, yo, and and the other reason why I tie them both together too, and I wanted to make sure I want to Google just to fact check myself. The other reason that the Eazy-E thing and the Magic thing is connected for me because of people like Karl Malone and and his comments, because while Eazy-E is dying of AIDS in 95, by January 30th, 1996, Earvin Magic Johnson comes back to the NBA. He plays his first game since announcing his retirement because of, having HIV. And I am I remember Karl Malone saying like, "Yo, what if he get cut and start bleeding?" Like basically Magic Johnson. I mean Magic Johnson. Basically, Karl Malone was telling the world, "Hey, man, what if his AIDS is airborne, or what if his HIV is airborne, and I get it?" We don't know that he wanted the foulest dudes on the planet either. You know what I'm saying? With these young girls, with these with these kids everywhere, selling that Hardee's chicken in LA gear, but you out here filthy. But you're worried about Magic and you're worried about getting the HIV. So that happening while he's trying to get reinstated to come back to the NBA, Easy-E dying. To me, they're always synonymous with each other, even though the diagnoses are 4 years apart, but they all come back full circle by the top of 1996. So that's why it's always like, whoa, Magic and Easy-E are always synonymous with me.
Yeah. As an adult, yes, that makes all the sense in the world. But when you're 11 or 12,
He's like, nah, I don't know. He's like, what is that? What is HIV?
you know, all jokes aside, I didn't even know to equate AIDS with HIV until waterfalls.
Hey, yeah. Take a glimpse in
Yeah,
the mirror.
just keeping it a buck. Like I couldn't even. I could. I remember I asked my sister one day, and this is how I was able to equate the two.
Mm.
In that bar, T-Boz dropped when she said three letters took him to his final resting place.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at my sister and I said, AIDS is four letters. What's she talking about? Like, what's she talking about?
Right.
And she was like, HIV. Fuck's that? That's when
Yeah.
everything came together.
Yeah.
I had to listen to Waterfalls and I had to sit down with my sister and ask that question.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Hey.
back then I didn't even know to even equate the two.
Yeah. And it's like, I think that's where the real education starts coming in, right? Because Magic and Arsenio did the timeout joint, but also even with the Waterfalls record, it was like, yo, HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. See, I remember it being that. I remember it being HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. And I was like, dang. So, when you digest that, it's just like, okay, HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. So I'm like, but wait, if that's what you have, if that's the virus that causes AIDS, what keeps it from not being AIDS? You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, you saying I got the HIV, but what's going to trigger it? And then you start to say, oh, shoot, your immune system. You could catch a cold and it could end up being AIDS. And I was like, is that real? But yeah, I mean, this is the 90s version. I know today we got, take 2 tablets may cause bladder infection pills. Now this is going to, like, I guess keep it at bay. I don't know. But I tell you what, back in the 80s, 90s, they were like, you could catch the common cold. And if your body can't fight it off, you will die of AIDS. That's how it was presented. I'm not sure. I don't know anybody that had HIV, got the flu or a cold, and it took over their body. I don't know, but that was the word of what would happen to you late 80s, early to mid 90s.
Yeah, I remember it being that scary, you know.
Yeah.
But it also the aware. I guess this was really the scary part. The awareness was out there. Whether I'm not going to say whether the facts were wrong or not, because as time goes on, you learn more about these things and certain ways to treat it and certain ways to prolong life. And because like right now they got a pill out now that you take this pill and you can go raw in somebody with AIDS, HIV, and not contract
Yeah.
it. So that's I just say the evolution over the last 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Some games of roulette ain't for me, but I be seeing that. Like, hey man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to take something that make me impervious to raw dog and HIV. I don't know if I want that. That's gonna mess up your eyesight or something. You're an X-Men. Hey, look now, if it's turned into an X-Men, I'm in. But if I can't be no X-Men, then skip that. Like you gotta tell me what this does. Like, yo, you mean I can pop this pill and I can go raw diggity with somebody with the HIV and I'm unscathed? Nah,
Well,
fam, you gotta tell me. It's like, is that mutant? Is that the secret ooze, nigga? Like, what's up?
I tell you what, you talk about being a damn X-Men, and if that shit don't work, you'll be an ex-human here, motherfucker.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. Zombie apocalypse. It's going down. Golly. Oh man. Okay. Um, I know this is kind of serious, but like, it's something to be lighthearted to a degree. Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something that I don't think I've shared on a live
Exclusive.
mic before. I don't think I've, you know what I'm saying?
It's your turn to hit us with an exclusive this week.
For sure, for sure. Man, with all this talk, Magic Johnson, Easy E, HIV, I'm about to lose my virginity here coming up. You know what I'm saying? And then I see I'm on BET. I'm a black child. I like black entertainment on television, And there's this red ribbon that just keep coming across the screen. I mean, every time there's a commercial break, every time there's a commercial break on BET, this white background with this red ribbon is on there, and it's talking about how African Americans are 80% of the AIDS uh, population in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was like, whoa, what does that mean? Oh my God. Because I had visited Atlanta before, but like I'm a kid. I went out doing that. I was like on like a family trip, but the way that they used to paint, they being BET, Viacom Engine, I believe at the time, the way they were saying how many people had HIV, AIDS, and they put it all together. HIV and AIDS, 80% of the African American population. Dog, I was so scared to even think about visiting Atlanta when I saw that number. And dog, I tell you, traumatized. I was even worried, and I lived there for about a year. I ended up living in Atlanta for about a year in 2005. And even then, I was a little leery. I'm like, yo, do now 87% of the black people here got HIV/AIDS? I was like, because I don't want to die of AIDS, bro. I don't want to get HIV. And of course, I'm condom king. I was never the reckless raw dogger. That was some of my homies, and we're not going to talk about them by name. They know who they are. But no, I used to try to give out condoms to the homies. Like, no, man, you don't want to get the heebie-jeebies, my nigga. And then baby, and sometimes I seen them on the nightstands when I come back to the room, or we all click back up. Like, yo, you got oh, I still got 2 condoms. I'm like, we've been here 3 days. You still got 2. You still got 2 condoms. We've been here 3 days. I know what you did. See, scary. I was way too scared. The BET commercials about HIV/AIDS and how they lumped it all together, and then they said it was mostly us, and we were all in one area. So I was like, wait, so are all the people in Atlanta that live there or move there, are they getting HIV/AIDS? Is that just what happens? They had it almost positioned to me like the poor kids in Africa. Like when when they did We Are the World, it felt like that to me. The HIV/AIDS commercials on BET looked like they were trying to stop the world hunger of STDs in Atlanta. And I was like, man, I never want to go there. And then why? Ignorant me. Well, shoot, almost everybody there got AIDS. And then that's when the down low stuff started coming out, that propaganda. Then there's women that say they're getting tricked, but you're not getting tricked, you're just settling. But all of that happening, I am like scared to death to go to Atlanta because of just the ads that take place. And to this day, I wonder why they did that. Was that really was it just to scare us? It's like, yo, chill out. Y'all are screwing rampant, unprotected, you're dirty, like it's getting crazy. Or like, was it, or did somebody just pay for that? Like, who paid for that TV time, and why was it like told to us like that? It's basically what I want to know.
I mean, the 90s was a wild time. Like if you go back and you watch a TV show or a movie back then, I know this is not even on the same, but like just think about how like reckless they were with some of the commercials and content. Like the fried egg. This is your brain on drugs. You know,
yeah,
aggressive as shit. You know, like,
right.
Like I don't think it was necessarily thought through strategically outside of being exactly what you thought it was. We have to create a scare tactic. It's just like I always felt that Magic Johnson, and it's just all this personal. This has nothing to do with. I always felt that Magic Johnson was just a figurehead for AIDS. I never really believed he had it, but he was that guy. So if we want to try to put a stamp on this to slow this down, if we take one of America's heroes,
and
have him say, "Hey, listen to me. Don't do this," you'll get more people paying attention. More people will be more aware. Thus, for less cases.
Yeah, wow.
Like
wow.
I don't know Magic Johnson. I've never met the man. I've never probably been within 200 feet of the man. But I always just felt personally that him coming out and saying, "Hey, I have AIDS," it was just him as a figurehead. Like because like I said, didn't know anything about AIDS until 1991. I'm 8 years old. Didn't have a clue of what AIDS was until I knew who Magic Johnson was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what AIDS was until you put AIDS into Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Like I've always felt that way, and I don't want to. This is just my own personal opinion. It has nothing to do with you. It's just something I always thought. Like, because whenever you want to get the point across for anything, what do? If Nike wants to sell more shoes, what do? They get the best basketball player to give them a shoe.
Yeah.
You if Popeyes wants to sell more chicken, okay, McDonald's, okay, we want to sell more value meals. So they give Meg Thee Stallion one. Why? Because she was the most popular person at the time.
Right.
Now people want to go buy value meals because Meg Thee Stallion said, "Go buy this value meal." She probably doesn't even fucking eat McDonald's.
right.
But back to the topic. I always felt like maybe Magic Johnson was just a figurehead for we need to slow this shit down. Because my ex-boss, he just retired 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Salute to him.
We used to and we used to sit down and we used to talk. He fought in Nam.
Oh.
He was he was a Marine.
Wow.
And no, not a Marine. He was a Navy SEAL. And he said that when they would get time off, I forgot where he said they were stationed at the time, but they said that before they let everybody go to get their R&R, they told them, do not, I repeat, do not have sex with any of the locals.
Wow.
The locals have an incurable disease that we can't do anything for you.
Dang.
We can't tell you what that disease is. All we can do is tell you, do not have sex with the local women.
Wow.
What was that disease? We don't know.
Right.
But in his head, it was AIDS.
Hell yeah. It was AIDS, the true OG version of AIDS. That's
Yeah,
what it
so
was.
so it goes. It just so happened that's what it was. As far as I know, it could have been herpes. I don't know.
Right.
But just so
Super
happened
hurt.
if that's what it was, just think about how far back Nam was compared
Right.
to when it became an epidemic here.
Right. Right. Dang. Wow. Man.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah. Man. Well, come to find out, Magic got the light version of what. Yo. Man. That's wild.
Diluted AIDS.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine you ain't even get the you didn't get the potent. You didn't get the one.
That's
You
not
didn't
funny.
get the 1 to 7 pumps, nigga. You didn't get that one. No.
That's not funny.
No, it's really not. It's really not. It's made in the 1980s, though. Oh man. And so man, I'm looking at all these ads. We back in the 90s. We back in the mid 90s, mid to late 90s. I'm looking at all these ads and these propagandists is basically telling me that black people in Atlanta got HIV and AIDS. You better chill out or you're gonna die. At the same time, puberty is running rampant. The women are growing up around me at a rapid rate. My hormones are out of control. And I remember, obviously with TLC probably being like first on the TLC Tip album. And Salt and Pepper too. I can't forget Salt and Pepper. Let's talk about sex. But it was the no glove, no love era. And I know a lot of kids that don't even believe in that today. Kids don't even wear like clothes. They don't wear t-shirts with their hoodies. You know what I'm saying? So they raw dog everything. They raw dog hoodies. They raw dog shoes. So they definitely raw dogging each other. It's crazy. But I mean, hey, it's just kind of what's happening out there. Just mad raw doggery, And saying all that to say there is, I think, a soundtrack that I want people that were actually had your babies. If you had your baby from 1994 to 1999, this question and this playlist being built is for you. Wang, I want to have some fun with the topic here. And at first, I just wanted us to do like the top 5 songs we had no business listening to when we were like, 13 to 15 or, 12 to, 14, 15. Like your formative years when you ain't supposed to know nothing about what you know what I'm saying, do with your body at the right, level, I guess I could say, at the right education, the mature level, right?
Okay.
But I think that's a little too easy and too difficult at the same time because there's so many songs when we listen back, it's like, whoa, that flew right over my head until right now. And I've done that twice. Let's call her up and see if she's up for that again. Right? But it's one of those. What do you think of the top 5 songs that caused teen pregnancy from 1994 to 1999?
Oh man.
Only 5.
Oh shit. Okay. Let me think. 1994. Let me do a time scale.
Okay, let's just try to come up with 5. The 5 we think it is. We won't do individual 5 because I think we'll have like the same ones.
Like I said, this is gonna be kind of hard for me because, like I said, I missed a lot of that time. Being
Okay.
that
Well,
Nirvana was the best thing smoking where I
okay.
was living at the time. But
Which
just to keep the without putting, oh, you said 95 to 99?
but let's do 1994 to 1999. I'm saying 94 for a reason because music played a lot longer. It played over longer. It's not the microwave, like fandom that we see from songs now. So check it out. Listen, I'm gonna do one. Whoa, but I'm gonna start this off with the song I believe is in here, and we're just gonna keep note of them in the chat. I think this is probably number 1, or we might have to do this person as number 1 with his own top 5. The low hanging fruit is R. Kelly Bump and Grind, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna slash that and add 2 more songs for sure to it. And I'm gonna explain why. The one I want to add with it, also by R. Kelly, Sex Me, Part
See,
1,
see,
2, and the remix.
I didn't want to say that because well, I'm glad you took over because I was just going to say R. Kelly in general.
Right. No, yeah. He
You know,
probably has the most plays per playlist. But I don't think you can have a conversation about 90s teen pregnancy without talking about R. Kelly just in general.
because but that's why I didn't want to say R. Kelly because you could probably create a top 5 with just Kales and it'd be solid.
For sure. But that's not what we do here on Made in the 1980s. We don't just give him his flowers because this is about as positive we can get. And we still talk about something semi-negative because the teen pregnancy epidemic is real. But I'll say that his songs are up there, but I do believe there are some songs that really hit their stride in the 90s that I just don't that we can't just limit it to one guy and his songs because I think there's a few out there that we need to pay homage to as well, even though we wore condoms, so we don't really count. You know, that's that's so okay. So I said we got Bump and Grind. Obviously, that's like that's probably number 1.
Yeah.
Um, I got Sex Me Part 1 and 2 and the remix. Sex Me is like the longest sex song ever in the world. If you had to play them all back to back, you might be able to get a full round off with foreplay if you just put those back to back, if you're into that,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
But the other one that I gotta throw on here, because it gets a boost in the 90s, well, later in the 90s, and that's Honey Love by R. Kelly and Public Announcement. So he's technically 2 different people on this list. The
Okay.
reason why, yeah, I'll go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I respect that. I respect that you separated the two.
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely it's a different vibe, even though you know what's about to happen here. But I have that song on there because Menace to Society. When Kane hit Ronnie, after the
Mhm.
party, after he pistol whipped Clifton Powell for playing around too much in the crib.
Punk ass Chauncey.
Yeah, Chauncey. Yeah, the name I remembered had the other F word on it, so I was like, "Dang, I can't just call him Clifton Powell. I don't want to say the word."
You see, I had to flip it. Punk ass
Right,
Chauncey.
right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't think of that fast. So I got those three, and I think no joke. I think that scene, Kane hit Ronnie, and I believe when I believe the song playing during that, and the song playing when Trey lost his virginity. I forgot what Nia Long's character name was in Boys in the Hood, but we don't know how to. What I'm trying to say here before I say that is that I believe those are the two most underrated songs as to why people have lost their virginity in our age bracket and probably have caused teen pregnancy. But we don't know how to look up the do 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 song. Like it's like, yo, I don't know, like like just John Singleton. It ain't even on the soundtrack. But like you're supposed to have, like, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have that. He was like, because and obviously he hit Raw, I believe, because she was like, I don't want to get pregnant. He was like, you won't. And I was like, but I don't think he reached for a rubber after he did that. I have to watch the movie again, but I don't think he did. I think he just dove right in. Shout out to Trey. But that is I think that rounds up the top three for just one guy. So maybe we should do artists and not songs, because I got those all at a dead heat for number one for different reasons.
It'll probably be easier if we did artists, because I think this song came out after, either in '94 or shortly after. I can't put it. Maybe I should Google it. But Janet Jackson's "Anytime, Any Place."
Janet Jackson was definitely on my list. Listen, I can't share that. I really can't share that. I just thought about what else I was to say. But one day we're gonna have a very exclusive episode. I want 2 or 3 more people in on the conversation when I'm gonna tell y'all a story about Janet Jackson's music and what it encouraged me to do. And after I understood what was really happening. Janet Jackson's music and interludes have changed my life. So we'll keep on going. So she deserves to be on this list. Anytime, Any Place is definitely high up there. I believe that, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know what you're doing, before she even break down in Anytime, Any Place, you've already finished. So just trying to store up for round 2 at that point. But Janet Jackson, Anytime, Any Place, absolutely up there in that 5.
But it's out of it is out of the realm of '94. It came out in '93.
Yeah, but listen here.
Close enough.
R. Kelly did the remix though. Remember, we can't give it. We gotta go when the songs actually hit though, because I remember seeing the Anytime, Any Place video in '94 and '5. So I think we gotta speak to the times, because from '94 to '95 I was in high school. I'm sorry, '95, '99. I'm sorry, '95, '99 I was in high school. So from that 8th grade year, '94, we at the end, going into 9th grade. This is when the girls started having kids that were my age. And I was like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? Like we were start seeing like girls between 14, 15, 16. And it's just, wow, what music were we listening to? And you know, respectfully, I don't really think Boys to Men, Ooh Ah was one of those joints, but I could be wrong. But you know, I think that's an underrated pick. I'm not sure if it makes the top 5, but it's not an Anytime, Any Place, which was overshadowing that, even though it came out earlier.
I wouldn't put it in the top 5, but it was most definitely one of those songs where it was, let's just say, overly sexualized for the 90s.
For sure.
So hold on, because I'm trying to get back in my 90s R&B bag. I just want my time scales to be right.
It's all good. Remember, it's got to be when the song hit. A song. I'm gonna throw out an old song that almost might count, even though the song came out decades later. Remember, old songs used to get popping, much like it is now, but not just because of TikTok or something like that. You can't just invent a dance. So
Right.
any answer you throw out, don't worry. Hey, look, if the song came out in '92, but you know that girls was getting pregnant to it in '96, it count.
Okay, so we're gonna go As Yet, Last Night.
Oh yeah, I see. I'm thinking that's late to the party for this. Like I think they already. I think that's when the 20-year-olds started getting it. I think the 20-year-olds was now for As Yet. As Yet Last Night is definitely a great pick. I got it. I think I got it just edging out of my top 5. It's up there though.
Okay.
Because I think there are some. There's a matter of fact, let me just go into one. And I know just from the lyrics, I kind of felt that people were kind of like succumbing to the lyrics of the song. And it's not necessarily hypersexual, but it's definitely well, what people will call pandering to women for life. And that's Jodeci, Forever My Lady. I know what y'all thinking. Y'all thought I was gonna say Freaking You. I don't really count that one because Forever My Lady is literally about
Making a
Kim
baby.
Porter having Albie Shore's baby.
It's about
So
making
the
a baby.
song, yeah, so the song is like on some super duper love, we're gonna be together forever type stuff. And I believe a lot of people my age that had no business listening to the song and interpreting the lyrics were getting knocked up to that particular record. I low-key have that at the top of my list because of the fact of what the song says and what the reality became for so many people in that era.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think about that one at all, but yes, like that was it was a baby making song about a baby being made.
Yep. Yep. And I was like, oh man, that's definitely when you letting go, right? When you say, yo, our babies were so healthy and strong. Now my dreams are reality. Ooh. All
Fun
right.
fact about that song that I just found out this year. If you
Yo.
sing the second verse of that song, like 90% of it doesn't even rhyme. Like maybe like the first 2 bars. After that, it was just really sensual talking.
Yeah. Hey, he was like, look, we gotta get you to the hospital on time. You know, that's it. I do
Yeah,
like the oh man.
just thought I'd
But
share that fun fact.
yeah, absolutely. So we got, we got the R. Kelly trifecta. We got Janet joining there. We got As Yet so far in the top 5, and then we got Jodeci's Forever My Lady being on this list as well. Do you think that is the 5, or do you think there's like a sleeper pick out here that exists?
Okay. Sleeper.
Okay.
Sleeper. Keith Sweat. Yummy.
Okay. You know what? When you said Keith Sweat, I was like, oh, he's not going for the one that would be. But I like that sleeper. I'm gonna raise you another Keith Sweat sleeper though, because he didn't sing this song the R&B group Silk did. I think Freak, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? All the songs that we name, respect to them, but man, I think Freaky makes it in this 5 somewhere.
yes, it has to. It
Yeah,
has it.
man.
I would say 4.
Mm,
I would say
okay.
4. You got the 3 R. Kellys,
Mm-hmm.
and since you brought that one up, because you can't even really call that one a sleeper.
Right, that's what I'm
You can't even
saying.
call that one a sleeper. So
We,
I would put that at a strong 4.
okay, because I mean we threw some joints out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, we got the R. Kelly Trinity, so R. Kelly, Janet, Jodeci. As yet, but we making room for Silk. Silk keep sweating Silk. I think that's yeah, man. I like that one. I am let me see. Nah, I do want to take the time to say I don't think nobody really got it popping like that to next music. And it's not that it was bad, but I don't think Butter Love did what the the TV one unsung said it did. I just don't believe it did that.
But I'll say this though, because I don't think people realize how much a 2-year age gap is.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, we was fucking the Butter Love.
Yeah, we was
We
already in it. Oh yeah, that's true.
y'all
Oh, that's right.
we
Yeah,
was
that's
fucking the Butter
right.
Love. Like I said, I
Yeah,
don't think people realize how much a 2-year age gap actually is. Yes, we
it's,
share a lot of similarities. We
yeah,
share a lot of similarities being born in the 80s, but 81 and 83 in the 90s
yeah.
is different.
No, hey, listen. Yeah,
It's different.
hey, I'm with you.
Because
Here's my.
if you think about it, me being born in 83,
Mm,
say I sexually active at the age of 15.
yeah,
That's late 90s.
right. Yeah,
So I'm not thinking about fucking in 94, 95,
yeah.
96.
That's true.
But 15, 16, 17.
Yeah,
Now
that's
we
a joint.
now we
Yeah,
in 98, 99, 2000.
yeah.
We get it popping, nigga.
Hey, okay. So now you've officially made next to Butter Love a sleeper pick. Here's another one. Here's my real sleeper. I just want when you said Keith Sweat, it triggered the Silk joint, but here's a real sleeper. And again, it's not because it's hypersexual, but I think the image in the movie puts this one up there. Raphael Sadiq, all I ask of you.
Why did I know you was going there? Why did I
Yeah,
know you was going there?
yeah,
You
yeah.
actually, I actually wanted to use that one, and for some odd reason, I decided not to.
No, you was
I
on track.
I don't know why, but I decided not to use that one, and I ain't got no reason why. I know. I'm
All
low key mad. I'm low key mad you threw it in my face though.
right. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I know it's got to be on there. So, okay, so you know what? We're gonna simplify this because we have enough artists now to pick. It's hard to pick songs, the 5 songs, because so many of these people will contribute in so many different ways. But we're gonna say the top 5 teen pregnancy starters of the 90s were R. Kelly, Jodeci, Janet Jackson, um, Silk, and,
Uh-huh.
and who we gonna put in that 5th spot?
That we can give that fifth spot. Oh,
Yeah, that's the fifth spot because the 4 is a lock now. I think.
the 4 is a lot. That 4 is solid. That 4 is
Yeah,
solid. That fifth spot.
for the 90s, the cutoff is 99.
That fifth spot, if the cutoff is 9, no, because he made a resurgence. So we can't use him.
Are we talking Ron Isley?
Hey. Cause see, the reason why I don't want to give it to is because never actually left.
Okay.
He never actually left. Let's just say his popularity dwindled, and then he got popping again. But he never actually left.
Okay.
The Isley brothers never went anywhere. It's just the 90s, the early 90s when gangster rap took over the scene. They wasn't getting that notoriety again until, Kales jumped in the game and said, "You know what? We finna ride this one up,
right?
And I want you to come with me."
Yeah.
Because me being the music head that I am because of my mom, I knew the Isley Brothers music and all of that. So to see him with R. Kelly was just like, oh, that's refreshing.
Okay.
So a lot of my friends was just like, who is Mr. Big? Who's Ron Isley? I don't know him as Mr. Big,
Right.
So I don't want to use him. I low-key want to use John B.
Okay. I see where you're going with that.
I low-key want to use John B because, come on, man. Or can we just use Babyface?
I'm not mad at Babyface because I know where you're going, and I was contemplating how I wanted to do it myself because there's so many different songs. As I started thinking, because honestly, I was gonna also say whoever was the definite writer on the first Faith Evans album and like the Mary and Faith albums, right? But there isn't one producer or whatever. So now I thought, wait a minute though, Babyface is holding a lot of cards here. It's just like Keith Sweat is holding a lot of cards here. Actually, instead of Silk, we probably should say Keith Sweat because he also has Nobody on that list with Freaky and all other joints as well. So yeah, so actually.
So now I'm feeling like we're leaning away from the artist and going more towards the writer because that doesn't change R. Kelly.
Right.
It just frees up 2 slots.
Well, I don't know because Janet Jackson's Janet album is some of the nastiest music you can find from Janet.
Yes.
Listen, I don't want this episode for what I got to say about Janet Jackson's music in the 90s to me for free. But one day we're going to have a real talk. So Janet ain't leaving my list. And I know Jimmy and Terry and Jay Dilla did beats on all the songs I'm about to talk about. But I do think that there is a distinction, but if we know the writers, then I think that even helps them more. Like R. Kelly wrote a lot of his songs in the 90s, but then he gave a few out. Jodeci, I think they just belong in there because they always had 2 or 3 songs, but I think they actually started the teen pregnancy wave with Forever My Lady, and that ain't even a nasty song like that. So I still keep them. I say Keith Sweat now, but that includes Silk, that includes Guy, that includes him. And it's like, oh wow. So now you got like 10 joints in here now. And now it's hard to not take you out of the list. So when you say Babyface, I think that would then trump everything that I was saying about whoever wrote the Faith and Mary albums, because he got more than that. And then, he got the clip is longer than Raphael Sadiq's. It's longer than As Yet. Like those are now just tracks on the sex playlist. It's like they like 11 and like 17, but it's so much more rounded because he got as soon as I get home, but he also has I'll Make Love to You by Boys to Men. Like that counts for Babyface. There is man, and then he has like his own joints, and I forget who else. But yeah, Babyface. I think that has to complete the 5. It's hard to beat Babyface on the love making tip. You know what I'm saying?
It's real hard to beat Babyface when it comes to what they call it, baby making music.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like he goated in that shit.
Yeah, man. Leave it in
And,
playlist.
and I'm not even a super big Babyface fan as far as like the music that he puts out for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, like I fuck with Babyface.
For sure.
But I'm not gonna be like, put that Babyface in. You know, it's gonna be songs, so I'll be like, yeah, let that shit play. But I'm not gonna be
that's
like,
what she said. Put that Babyface in here.
but you can't deny his greatness.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So
for sure.
I can respect that.
Yeah, man.
I can respect that.
So there we have it, man. No particular order. Please don't stone us for that. But listen, most likely you or somebody in your class from the years of 1994 to 1999 have most likely gotten recklessly skeeted in to an R. Kelly, Jodeci, Janet Jackson, Keith Sweat, or Babyface song.
Recklessly skeeted in.
You know what I'm saying? Let us know the song. You know what I'm saying? How many of you know the song where you was and when you knew, oh, it's in there.
And it just so happened we missed one. Let us put that shit in the comments.
You know what I'm saying? Tell us your sleeper pick. Let us know that you really got pregnant. It Ain't No Fun by Snoop Dogg. Like, let us know. You know what I'm saying? That could have happened. You might.
I got
nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? You just might have got skeeted into Ain't No Fun. I don't know. We would like to know. Have a conversation. We'll send the link. Talk with us. It would be a great conversation.
Hey, I saw this thing the other day, and the shit was funny to me because I could relate because I've done it before. and a lot of people probably won't admit it, but it is what it is. Now, you just solidified you are Mr. Wrap It Up.
Oh.
Bravo.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, thank you.
But the joint said, how many people do you know went to a crib to go smash, condom in pocket, and never pulled that motherfucker out the pocket?
Man, I was so scared to not. I was scared to buy condoms in the town. I didn't want, because everybody know my mom, people know of my dad. It's like, yo.
Hey, I was most definitely scared to buy condoms when I became sexually active because I didn't want the wrong person to see me buying them. Now I gotta explain this shit.
Yeah.
But I had a solid ass job. My first job. Shout out to Service Master. One of the places I used to clean was the health department.
Oh, hey, the freebies.
So the lady was like, "Hey, you come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Take as many as you want."
Yeah. Right.
Kept them bitches on deck.
You know what I'm saying?
Kept them bitches on deck.
Heck yeah.
All the Durex.
Yeah. Hey, we call them Me and my man's caught him on the time they gave out lifestyles. He was like, "Oh, it's lit. The blue and white pack.
The blue and white pack.
Yeah, the blue and white lifestyles." I remember grabbing some of them. I was like, "Yo, I need to, yeah." You know, you got to send your friend that already have a kid, so they like, "Oh yeah, we know you need the condom. See, you had a child already, so then but he give them to me. He's gonna have more kids. But it's like, hey, look, I was trying." You know, so that's how it works out for me.
All right, I'll give you another fun fact, and you may be able to piggyback off of this.
All right.
I remember the first time, because when I first started being like really active, I was just like you, condom.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm working as service master, so I have an overabundance. I got a drawer.
Right.
Ain't no socks, no t-shirts. It ain't no rubbers in here. Ain't no rubbers in here. So I got them. I know I got them. Protect myself.
Yeah.
Be safe. No kids. No STDs. None of that. Got the condoms. I'm prepared. And I remember that day doing my thing. Now I'm so green and oblivious to life in general. The condom breaks. I don't realize that this is what happens. All I know is this is different and it is amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know what switch this young lady flipped.
Man.
But this is so much more fun. Now, mind you, I don't know what happened. All I know is that this feeling of amazingness just was amplified tenfold.
Hey, it just man, this is oh my God, this shit fire.
What the fuck just happened? This is amazing.
Oh, this is a new pocket right here.
I done got a little deeper than I did last time. I don't fucking know.
Right.
So we finished. I reached down. Where's the condom? She's freaking. This is how young we are. She starts freaking out. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, where's the condom? She all up in the crevices of herself, and we moving the sheets and the blankets around, and we looking and we can't find it, and we panicking. What the fuck? I know you put it on because I saw you put it on. I know I put it on because I saw me put it on, and it's just rolled up at the base.
Yeah.
Chilling. That almost ruined my life. Because now I know how much better it feels to be unsafe versus how it feels to be safe.
Yeah.
That was a struggle after that, being a mid-teen. And damn, I gotta put it on again.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
My willpower, the flesh was weak.
Bro, I'm so glad that the one time I had a hint of the raw poke, the condom broke, but like I felt it like after a minute, but boy, the scrambling I did, like Steve Young in the Super Bowl. The amount of scrambling I did once I realized that I had about 3-4 good ones of the real deal Holyfield. Man, I was so scared to even try it again. I just never bought that particular condom again. I was like, hey, look, we ain't never buying these. we gonna buy the other one. I'm thinking, oh no, this is the condom fault. Like, yo, it literally broke. So we ain't never buying this again. But man, I tell you what, no man, was that
I
was
respect your willpower because, like I said, I was so fucking green.
yeah.
I'm just thinking, you know, okay, maybe I did something that just got a little wetter, you know, like never crossed my mind that that's what happened.
Right. Oh man.
And
Yeah,
then once I
man.
figure out that's what happened, I'm like, so I gotta go back to doing it the old way.
Man, hey. And then she'd be like, well, no. And then you're really in trouble, buddy.
See, now the thing is, even though I was saying this in my head, because I was always one of those, I never wanted kids. I never wanted kids. I just didn't do the right shit to not. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't regret it. You know, love my shit. But
Right.
it's like for a nigga that didn't want kids, nigga,
yeah, you weren't acting like it at all.
I was looking told you don't want kids, and you out here reckless as fuck right now.
Right.
You know, but I was also able to. I was. What's the word? I can't even think of the word to use for disciplined enough to get my shit back on the right track. I didn't have my first kids until I was an adult, you know, so
yeah.
You know, I could have been one of these, you know, 15, 16-year-olds, you know, with 3 kids already, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, man. I definitely yeah. I'm so glad that my first time was so safe but adventurous at the same time that we didn't even try to experiment without the joint. So I even go to college on rubbers on deck. And then like I see like everybody don't necessarily like agree with me. You know, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, y'all don't need no. I got some rubbers. Y'all ain't got no rubbers. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta get some rubbers. Hey, ain't even nobody like, hey, yo, grab me some, bro. Like they were like, oh, you're using them? like, yeah.
Lame ass
like,
are
you not? like, yo, don't tell me I need it. Why did you not need it?
Hey, you the butt of everybody's joke. Hey, this lame ass nigga Cam got Cam got rubber. This nigga,
right.
This nigga showed up to the party with some rubbers.
Yeah. I'll be like, oh man, like, this is escalating quickly. like we know who y'all talking to. Want to go over here? Oh god. Oh man. That's too funny, man. Oh man. So we've come up with a top 5 for y'all. And then the top 5 teen pregnancy starters of the 90s, late 90s, 94, 99, you know what I'm saying? We've got a chance to touch base on when AIDS was scary out here, man, and kind of share some of our memories. And hopefully you guys got some memories too, man. We would love to hear what y'all think about all of this. Like, do you remember the No Glove, No Love promos? Do you remember all them HIV AIDS commercials that was on BET? Tell me I'm not the only one that thought that all the black people just move to Atlanta and get AIDS and die. I couldn't have been the only person that thought that based on how them commercials was, but I can't be. But hey, maybe I am, and let us know. Let us know. Check out the show, Made in the 1980s. Man, this has been a blast, and we will continue it. But until next time, just know that it's always love.